life has no purpose. It's been this way for as long as I can remember. Nothing seems to fit with my introverted and socially awkward personality. I'm blunt when I need to be, otherwise I'm a caring and compassionate person. At least I used to be. Let's go back to the point in time where my life changed, where my mindset changed, which eventually led me here, telling you this story. Growing up wasn't that easy for me. Sure, I managed to make some friends, but they never stuck because I moved around a lot. I did make friends in junior high, but they soon grew distant, and honestly, it didn't seem to faze me much. I graduated high school a year later than what I was supposed to because of a virus that had spread around the world, wreaking havoc on the population. An heir of my siblings while attending high school. Maybe that attributed to graduating a year late. Who am I kidding? I just didn't give a fuck about school. It was the same shit every day. Wake up, get myself and my siblings ready, and off to school we went. After school, we'd go home where I'd make dinner and do homework. Like I said, same shit every day. My life didn't truly change until I was 19 and freshly graduated out of high school. When I was 19, I found a group of strangers online. People who were like me in different ways. The more that I got to know these people, the more I learned that I actually cared about them. They were labeled as friends, yet I knew deep down that they were my family. A family who actually cared a lot about me and what I did. A family that I got to choose, and I wouldn't have given them up for the world. I still wouldn't. In time, the people I had gotten to know really made my awful fucking days better. There were more people that came along. My family, the only ones I really cared about, were 4 or 5 people, and I dropped a few people on the way. It started out simple, me not being able to find the right things to say, so I wouldn't say anything at all. I would just stare at my phone screen, waiting for their replies to whatever was said in the chat room at the time. I, of course, would throw my opinion in a conversation if what I had to say was relevant, but these people became my main focus. The more that I lurked behind my phone screen to watch what they would say, the more I started to familiarize a pattern of when they were having a good day or a bad day, just based on how they typed. It didn't take very long for me to develop a sense of protectiveness towards these people, feelings that I hadn't experienced before. I knew I cared about these people, yet I didn't understand the extent of my feelings at first because it wasn't something that I was used to. I spent more than 6 long and agonizing months getting to know everything I possibly could about these people. I knew almost everything there was to know about a few of them because of conversations that I was able to have with them, where they would vent personal details to me. God, they were remarkable people. My anxiety prevented me from telling them that I cared, but I assumed that they already knew. Eventually I did. Perhaps I should have told them sooner than when I did, but at least they knew how I felt about all of them. And man, was I fucking relieved when they accepted it. A huge weight had been lifted off my shoulders when I told them how I felt about them. So I spent the next few months getting to know them as much as possible. And believe me, it was pretty damn great. However, time progressed, and even though there were some complicated things happening in each one of our lives that could prevent all of us from always being there for each other, I didn't care what would happen in their lives, nor mine, because I'd always be there for them. I never expected to find people that cared about me. It wasn't supposed to be part of my future, nor was it something I had anticipated happening. Yet, it did, and I was grateful for it. However, we all started to grow distant from each other. We began to interact with them less and less, which, I'll admit, hurt my feelings somewhat. We all began to grow even further apart from each other, and then it happened. Found out that all of them had been killed in either an accident, committing suicide, or being murdered. Something I'd never thought would happen, and I survived it all. That was when my world shattered. I'd finally found my family, and they were all taken from me. I gave in to the darker thoughts that I had, and transformed into the person I tried my hardest not to become. I grabbed a knife from the kitchen drawer, made my way outside of my house, and down the street to the homeless man that's been camped there for the last 2 years. I grab a hold of his shirt, pull him up from the concrete sidewalk, and plunge the knife deep into his throat. Blood splatters all over my jacket. I'm more annoyed by the mess. Taking this man's life doesn't faze me. It doesn't make me feel bad like I should. Instead, I feel happy. I remove the knife from the man's throat, watching as the blood oozes out of the wound and onto my hand before I let his body fall to the ground. The pavement's quickly stained crimson as I backtrack to my house. I walk up the staircase of the front porch and enter the house, causing my family to scream while I quickly go to my room, where I sit with a book in my hand, my laptop beside me, and the microphone that I'm speaking to you out of at the moment. I'm here to tell you many stories. I hope you all get comfortable because this is the start of my wrath. My name is Ethan Blades, and this is my beginning.